Good for that.
Yeah.
What's up, Yvonne? This is Jayye Bynoe, the host of the Jayman Show, and showing my boy, the young James Brown, Tony Wilson.
Hey.
Good to see you on the show. All right.
Pleasure.
All right. So, tell me about this show. I hear you came from Chicago all the way down, 14-hour drive. What brought you to Boston again?
Well, thank you for having me back here. I'm always going to be here in Boston to support whatever the movement is. I came down here this time in support of Clifton. We call him C1. He had a Get the Vote Out event at Dudley's, a coffee shop, which was excellent. And he's on here too. So
all right.
Let's see if I get Clifton to say something.
What's going on, man? It was a beautiful moment in Union Square history to get out the vote at Dudley Cafe, which is located at 15 Warren Street, Roxbury, Mass, in the heart of the Black community. It was great to have the first GOTV Get Out the Vote with GLO Solutions for Humanity, Dudley Cafe, and my man Tony Wilson, the young James Brown, all the way from Chicago, and a host of other great speakers that were down there. And it's about small business, it's about community, it's about getting out the vote, the importance. It was a great event today.
All right. Yes, it was, because he's the man before me. So, my question is, what made you want to become a musician? What inspired you, James Brown? Because you're such a good performer. So, what made you want to be a musician?
Well, with my interest here in Boston, actually, I was on tour with the Isley Brothers here in Boston, and then I realized that not only was it the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King, but it was actually the 50th anniversary of James Brown State Boston. So for the last 3 years, of course, we've been doing it. And I met C1 and we hit it off immediately. And he's like the #1 community activist. Everybody knows him from all sides of town. So, we got together and we put this thing and put it down on lockdown so that everybody could be a part of it, and at least do the history on knowing what it was that James Brown was more than a musician, more than a band leader, and that he was probably one of the greatest men in his day, 60s, 70s, that had a lot of power with the Black community. And Kevin White, the mayor then, made that decision to, let's have this event televised, which today, that TV station that did it is BNN. They are the station that did it. Of course, it was named something back in the '68. So this was just a good movement to do things. But we're going to be doing a lot of things. And like I said, C1 put together all the musicians and a lot of the entertainers who didn't get a break. And we had a great show at Roxbury Community College, as well as the Regent Theater for 2 years.
Absolutely. So what are some of your musical influences? Who inspired you to do what you do?
My godmother's Martha Reeves, Martin the Vandellas. That's how I got to meet all the other entertainers, Smokey and Stevie and the Temptations and all them. And my godfather is Marshall Thompson from the Shy-Lights. Actually, he's getting inducted into the Walk of Fame this summer. And, I had a lot of inspiration from entertainers who were major stars. So I was lucky and fortunate to do that. And I'm working for Michael Jackson for 3 years. Of course, that helped too. So my main focus was to drive up here. I don't care if it was 14 hours, whatever. C1 needed the entertainment. He's my boy. Always gonna support him because I know he's a very true community activist and he's definitely on point on it.
Thank you, man.
And today, congratulations on getting a proclamation for your team as well as yourself from the mayor.
It's been a lot of years, working in the field as far as politics. I like to say politics. You have to navigate
calling over internet. Now we can hear you.
Oh man.
All right, we got to do that. We got to take read again.
Hello, this is the Jayman Show. I'm your host, Jaiye, aka the Jayman Bynoe. On today, my producer, Donald Poole. Hi, Don. Welcome to the show today. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Jayman.
No problem. You got it. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the business and what your plans are for, I guess, this year and next?
Okay, sure. Well, how things started with me is from my father and my brother. My father was a vocal coach and somewhat manager for the first boy band here in Boston. And it was called the Energetics. It was formed in 1970, between 69 and 70. And it was 5 young guys, lived off of my grandmother's street, Wilcox Street in Dorchester. And I was very inspired because I was young at the time. I was actually like about 5 years old. And I remember my father coaching them in the kitchen, and he would teach them how to sing and, how to harmonize and how to dance and all of that stuff. My father was incredible when it comes down to that, the artist development part of putting together a group. He was fantastic. Actually, Maurice, who I later on in the 90s started working for, knew my father and said my father was the one that gave him the inspiration to even come to Boston and even start his own boy band, which turned out to be New Edition and New Kids on the Block. And so anyway, as time went on, my brothers then put out an album and on I think it was on Atlantic Records. It was called Come Down to Earth. And then they moved on as time changed. When the 80s came in, things started getting a little bit more sparkly and flashy. So they changed their name to Planet Patrol, and they signed a record deal with Tommy Boy label, which Queen Latifah later on was a part of. And so I stuck with them while they were still performing and stuff. And when they would come to Boston, they would ask me. At the time, I was pop dancing then, as I'm doing now again. But back then, I just started pop dancing, and I would basically teach them some steps. And I was the one who formulated the steps for Soul Train for them. So I had a lot of, inspiration around me in my family, as far as my father being the manager and vocal coach for Energetics, who turned out to be Planet Patrol, and my brother, who was the bass singer in that group. His name was Melvin Franklin. God bless his soul. He's no longer with us, but he was the bass singer in the group, and they went pretty far. They had about two albums off of Tommy Boy label and around about 4 hits.
Well, that's amazing to work with all those artists, and get that the kind of recognition what we both need, So that's I respect you that, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now I hear you're working with Tony Wilson, the young James Brown. What's that like? Reading through him.
Tony, I just met Tony. I've seen him around and stuff like that, and probably passed each other at some shows and everything. But as far as really like up close and working with him, this is my first time, and he's amazing. He doesn't let anything stop him. Whatever he put his mind to, he actually goes forward, and I really like that. That is something that a lot of people need to really get, because when you want to do something, you can't let others deter you from doing that, or have others to kind of down you from your dream. And he says, he looks at something and he wants to go and do it. He just goes and do it. And I really admire that. So we went to the studio actually tonight down at Dudley Station. It was the keyboard player for the show that he did last week at the Dudley Cafe. And we had a really good time there. Actually, I got videos of me dancing and stuff like that. And he was in the vocal booth, and the track really sounds nice too. It's a spinoff of something that James Brown would do, and I'm going to do a remix to that to give it a little bit of hip hop edge and stuff. And Pretty Poison is a up and coming. Well, she's actually a veteran, but she's actually up and coming now because of the hookups that she's getting right now. and she's going to be putting on probably like a 16-bar verse on that song. And I think it's going to turn out to be fantastic. And it could go on Tony's album because he's signed. He's signed to Sony. So he's working on the album right now, and this could possibly go on there, which will be really, really cool.
I know. Imagine that gets on there. Yeah, if he gets somebody, that means that we would get into, because and that's what we want, right? That's what we want.
Absolutely. Just being able to do what you love to do and surround yourself by people who are serious in this business is very, very important, because there's a lot of people who are not really serious about this or take advantage of other people. But I believe that if you surround yourself with people who have a passion for doing music and like to surround themselves with others who have a passion for doing music, then I think that you're on the right track then. And we all need to look for that if we love something.
Absolutely, because when I first met Tony at BNN, I was like, this is the guy, And we started talking, and I got an interview from him. He was great. I kept on performing on his show, and Boston, that was great. So yeah, it's like, I'm here for you. You're here for me. And it's great to meet somebody who wants to help us. And put others first. So I thought himself. So I think we're on the right track with Tony because he's a great man. I just love the guy. So I think he's definitely a great man, just like you. So I think we're on the right track. Tony, and I think it's going to happen. So.
Absolutely. And, that's why you have to be obedient. I mean, I'm not going to get spiritual or religious on anybody, but, God put people in places and put you in places to meet certain people for certain reasons. We're supposed to have met someone else and it didn't turn out right. And all of a sudden we was able to meet Tony in the process, and everything just kind of like fell into place. And that's when you're being obedient to God, when these things happen like this. And I have no doubt that that's what's going on right now, because I felt like, when I was with him tonight in the studio, I felt like I've known him for years. I mean, it was just incredible. We really hit it off, and that's a blessing. So I'm really looking forward to working with you and him in the future, and Pretty Poison on some tracks and things, and hopefully things take off.
Yeah, that's my dream, So what if we're gonna make it happen, I think I'm glad that it's you and me, Tony, and Pretty Poison together. So it's one. So I'm
Absolutely.
So I think it's blessing having a good signing, have them bring us along, which is great, So it's a blessing. So, and I think this will be a year, because it's like I said, it's not cold now. So I hope things take off hopefully soon, So because I'm ready, So I know you are, and
Oh, absolutely. And he was talking also about, with the album that he's working on, and probably even this song, that probably we can get a video going. And he said, I definitely want you to dance, in the video as Grandpopking. And I'm sure that'll probably be a next question about, Grandpopking. Yeah. And I'll let you ask the question, though.
Yeah. So what do you have? So what's your vision? What's your vision for the video?
Well, one of them was going to be called OGs, and OGs is formulated like this. I'm actually still writing it out, and I'm going to be working with Tony, through Zoom or just through some video conferencing about the video. One of them is going to be called OG, and what it's about is, guys like us who grew up in the 80s when actually breaking and popping was born. Was, like the kids that are doing it today, some of them know it, but some don't know that it was created in the 80s, so the OGs, I thought about it and I said, you know what? I still know around about 4 guys, and we used to have a group back in the days. And now I would like to bring them back and put them into this video of OGs. And it will start out like this. I will give you a crash version of it very quickly. We're sitting at a table in a park. You know how some parks have a basketball hoop and stuff and got tables and everything. So we meet every weekend, and we go down there and we play cards and talk about old times and stuff like that. So we're there, and all of a sudden one kid busts out with a boom box. Okay. And he starts to play some music, and he starts dancing. And then my friend Isaac, he looks at me and said, you know, you can go over there and show those kids something, right? And I go like, oh, no. You know, we're retired and let's just sit here and play cards. We all set. And he goes like, oh, okay, all right. So we're playing cards and all of a sudden the kid starts waving and popping and stuff. And he comes over by a table and he pops and then he moonwalk back and stuff. And then he looks and then the camera zooms in on Isaac, my friend. And he goes, D, look, man, these kids need to see how it really started. They need to see the foundation of where it came from. And the best way for them to see that is for them to see us do it. Okay? And then we can tell them where it came from. I say, you know what? That's true. That's true. It will be good for them to know the history of what they're doing so we can educate them and have fun at the same time. And he was just like, absolutely. And I said, okay. So we look over and then the other kids stop popping and stuff like that. So me and Isaac get up and we walk over there. And Isaac says to the kid, hi, how you doing? He said, all right. And Isaac said, you know, you're doing that wrong, right? And the kid looks up at him. And so the camera shot is from Isaac's eyes, looking down at the kid. And the kid looks up and go like, ha, 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 to his friends. Look at OG trying to tell me that I'm doing it wrong. I tell you what, old man, if you can do it better than me, we'll come and cut your grass in front of the old folks' home. And then they all start laughing, you know, at him. And then he says, with a straight face, Isaac says, all right, me and D against you and him. And he says, you got to bet. And then the camera is on the little kid and he goes like, this is going to be the easiest one I ever won. So all of a sudden the beat goes on and Isaac says, I'll let you go first. So the kid said, no, it's going to be both of us and both of you. And then Isaac said, even better. Right? So the music comes on, the kid goes out and they're doing their moves and stuff like that. So, and then they put their hand out like for us to do our thing, like, you know. Then all of a sudden, me and Isaac just started doing our moves and started breaking it down. And then the camera shows the kid's face and they're like, oh, man. And then when we get done, they just came over and hugged us and stuff. And we was like, yeah. And it was like, how do y'all learn to dance like that? You know, so we've been learning how to dance like that. But this just came out. We said, no. The reason why we came over is because we saw you all dancing and we wanted to really show you all what we can do, but on top of it, more importantly, where it came from. Let us show you. Then we're going to have our iPad and we're going to show them from the 80s. So this is the 80s, way before you was born, okay? And this is how we used to dance back then. They're looking at it going like, that's exactly what we're doing now. I said, exactly, okay? It's just coming full circle. Okay, it just come full circle. It's come back around again. And I said, go to YouTube and put in Crazy Legs. Go in YouTube and put in breaking. Go in YouTube and put in pop dancing in the 80s. And then I'll see you here next week. All right. Y'all take it easy. And then he points at me and the camera points at me and I go, oh, and you don't have to cut our grass at the old folks' home. And then we all start laughing, and that will be it.
That's a wonderful story.
You know?
To show where this is where it came from, because that's the generations are based. So we need to hear that, you know. So I definitely agree.
Yeah, in a positive way too. You know what I'm saying? Like some people would be like, oh yeah, you know, it would turn out to be almost like a battle or a confrontation or nothing. But I wanted to write it where in the end it was a happy story where, you know, the kids accepted where it came from. And if anything, they did just like, wow, we admire you all. Can you show us a few of your steps and stuff like that? You know what I mean? So I want to really show a very inspiring and positive side of the story.
Yeah, and he did. And that's a wonderful story, you know, very positive, inspiring, you know. People need to hear that, you know where Genesis first came from, you know. Yeah, so we can. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so definitely agree.
Now, as far as Tony is concerned in that video will be from this track that they was working on tonight in the studio. And I don't know what the theme of that is or nothing like that yet. The chorus of it was something like, everybody get up so you can get down. Okay, that's the title of the song. Everybody get up so you can get down. You know what I mean? And it was really nice. He's like, get on up so you can get down. You know what I'm saying? And then Pretty Poison is going to be in the back. Get on down. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be backing them up. And then right when that part comes where she said, get on down, the music's going to go, and then she's going to bust her 16 verses. And then he's going to come in back in. When she ends, he's going to come back in with a scream. You know, so it's going to be really, really nice, especially when I do the hip hop R&B remix of it. You know what I mean? It's going to be really, really cool.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to that too.
Absolutely. So when you plan on filming this video?
Which one?
When you talk about right now.
The one I was just talking about?
Yeah, Pretty Poison.
Oh, that's once it gets done.
Okay.
Once you can't really you can write a video, but you can't really produce a video yet until the track is done and everything is completed. Once it's completed, you can go ahead and do it.
Okay.
But one of the other guys that was down at the studio, he also does video. And he told me, I told him about the OGs, and he loved the idea, and he's thinking on taking on the project.
Oh, that's great. You know, the more the great. You know, that's what we need now. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And are you gonna put this on YouTube right when it's done, so we can promote it, you know, and get it out there, right?
Oh yeah. Actually, this guy is supposed to be really good at posting things on YouTube and social media and everything, and he wants to basically be my social media guy, you know, for Grandpopking and all of that, you know. And I said, sure. I said, absolutely. I said, I would like to see some of your work, and then we can go from there. And he was like, absolutely. He said, because Grandpopking, he said, I seen your videos. He said, you're a fantastic dancer, man. And I think that you need just to have somebody to manage your, your online, you know, and your social media situation. I said, oh yeah, absolutely. I can always use that, you know. I said, because I'm just more the creative person behind it. I can create the content, but I need somebody to promote it. You know what I mean? So that's what he's going to do.
That's good. And he must know people in the business, right? Business that can help you, right? Like Sony, you know, he must know some people that can help us, right? You know, so Tony.
Well, more so Tony will take care of that part. He's just a social media person. He's the one that can get it out there so the eyes can see it.
Okay.
Because that's what's important. You got to get it out there so the eyes can see it. And the more eyes see it, the more people like it, then the more, you know, it can expand. And then Tony can take it and say, look, this guy got 2.8 million views on this. So, you know, putting Sony's name behind it, you know what I'm saying, it would only do that much better.
Oh, yeah, I can have to see it right now. You know, Sony's name behind it, and me out in California, you know, that's the plan, you know.
Absolutely.
So I can see it right now, you know. I'm ready for it, you know. So I can tell them this year, next year, it's going to be a year, you know. We're ready for this, you know.
Oh, yeah. I feel it only because of the fact that when you get two or more people together who have parallel passion for doing the same thing, only greatness can come from it. Absolutely. But you just everybody just have to be on that same page, and nobody steps on nobody's toes. This person does this person does that, and we all put our talents that God has given us towards this one entity so we can lift it up high and do what we got to do.
Yes, and that's the way to get success, have success, you know, in a good way.
That's it.
Definitely agree, you know. And
yeah, that's right.
You know,
that's right. To me, I always say, passion is the secret to success.
Yes, I always love what you're doing, right? Because it's not going to work, you know. So absolutely.
That's right. And the opposite is procrastination is the cancer to success.
Okay.
Because when you procrastinate, that means that it means a lot of things. Actually, it means that you don't really sincerely believe in what you're doing. You don't really want to do it as much as you think you want to do it. And if that is the case, it will show at certain points. So the passion has always have to be there, because if it is, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody, because you just want to do it for the love of it. And knowing that God has blessed you with that talent and other people around you, you know, that's what's really important.
Absolutely. I couldn't say better myself, you know. Like I said, I'm definitely down, you know, so I definitely want to be in the video too, you know, so absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. So that's basically that. And as far as Grandpopking goes, it's that was a beautiful situation how I got into that. That had to do with my grandchildren. They come over my house every weekend or every other weekend. And what we do is, because I'm in the music business, we have fun like doing like singing and like they're on stage and acting and dancing and stuff like that. And one weekend I had to work overtime at work. So they was coming in and I was going out. It was like, Grandma, where you going? And I said, oh, I got to go to work. It was like, oh, we're not going to dance this weekend. I said, oh, no. I said, but I'll tell you what I'll do. When I get to work, as soon as I get some time, I'll make a dance video and I'll send it to you. How's that? And she said, oh, okay. All right. Okay. So I did that. And she took it and put it on TikTok. And the next weekend, she came over and she said, Grandpa, you're famous. You're famous. I said, what are you talking about? I'm famous. She was like, yeah, they love you on TikTok. I said, what is a TikTok? I thought it was a watch or something.
No.
I was like, I didn't know what a TikTok was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I said, what is a TikTok? She said, it's an app where you can get on and show your talents and stuff. And I saw your dance. I thought it was so good. I put it up on there and I made you I made you a page and everything, a profile. And I was like, well, let me see it. So she showed me on her phone and she showed me, I had around about like 5,000 people that viewed it. And I was like, whoa, So that one turned out to be 2.8 million views when it was done. And for me, that was absolutely phenomenal, especially when that wasn't something I was, gearing towards. It just happened. But when I saw it, I was like, you know what, I got to keep this going. This is fantastic. This feels good to have that many people to love what you're doing, and you're doing what you love to do. That's living your best life, as the young people would say today, So I haven't turned back since, and that was 2.5 years ago. And I had my second video actually just went over 1 million. And the video that I just did now is at 1.9 million that I did 2 weeks ago.
Whoa.
So that's a lot of views and a lot of people. And I also have a merch store. It's grandpopking.store. And my website is grandpopking.com. And they both interchange with each other. So if you go to either one, you can go to the other. Okay, please come out and support my store. I have merch, as you can see on my head. Oh no, this is I took it off. I had it on earlier, but I always wear it. It's a Grandpop King hat. I also have the hoodies. I have the mask, and we also have the gaiters. And we're looking to get phone cases real soon too. So please, if you go to TikTok or even Google Grandpop King and you like my dancing, please support my store. Okay. And again, that is grandpopking.store, and my website is grandpopking.com. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing information. We got to make sure that happens, get you out there. Now, are you also on social media like Facebook, Instagram?
Yes, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, not on Twitter, nothing like that at this moment, but definitely Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. And how is your group Montasia doing? Are they doing well too, Montasia?
No, Montasia is no longer, but I'm still in contact with the label, and she actually wants me to start producing some tracks for some of her artists on the label. So that's a nice thing. But she's a small independent label, so I would definitely like to help her out, but I don't want to really be signed to that label because they don't have major distribution or nothing. But she's a really, really nice person, and I definitely want to help her out, as much as possible.
I know that's a blessing. I mean, more people like you to help people out, so I definitely agree. Now, Now, are you also looking for dancers for your video? Because I know a girl, Andrea, who can dance well. Maybe she could be in a video too with me, so I can see.
Yes. For the one for the Tony, because the OGs is just going to be a small little sequel. It's not going to be like this whole complete like video like the one that we're going to be doing with Tony Wilson. Tony Wilson video is going to be a whole complete music video. And definitely he's going to need dancers on there. He already said he wants me to dance on there. And I would love to choreograph some steps with some females and stuff too, and put together something really, really hot for the video.
That's what I can make happen. I know a girl, so I can make it happen. Now,
Okay.
so when did it might do the video so I can have so we can coordinate time for it to come down?
Well, like I said, to audition it could be at any time, but as far as the shooting of the video and all of that, we just don't know just yet because the song has to be done first. And once the song is done, then it has to be mixed and then it has to be mastered. And then once that's done, then we can shoot the video because we would use that particular track as the audio track that we'll be, doing the video too.
Oh, sounds good. So is the song almost done now?
No, right now we just did the first recordings of it. So we got a lot of, parts that we want to put together and just get it all together and see how it sounds, to get its format together and stuff. And once it starts sounding like a hit to us, then we will, get it together and get it out and get it mixed and mastered. And then we'll work on the video.
Okay, that sounds like a way to go. I'm planning, so I'm definitely down for that, and being in the video. So I think this is gonna be a year, this year, next year, it's gonna be a year, so
Absolutely.
Especially Tony now, who's signed on, we can make our dreams come true now, So I think that's right. Like I said, long as everybody keeps that passion for this first, I think that we'll be all right because we are all going in the same direction. I look at any business like this. If you got one thing going this way and you got another thing going this way, what you got is two things pulling against each other. When two things are pulling against each other, something's going to snap in the middle. And when it snaps, that means it separates. When it separates, that means it's no longer communicating. And if it's no more longer communicating, what you got now is two things that have become separated. And when they become separated, then they're no longer working together at all. So right now, with all of us being on the same page, we call that parallel. And if it's parallel, that means that they're side by side going in the same direction. And if they're going in the same direction, that means that you can get results. If you can get results, now you're getting something that you can actually work with and people are interested in. Absolutely. And that's what we need, I definitely agree. So yeah, I definitely agree, So like I said, so I think this is gonna be our time, I'm ready for it, ready to get in the studio and dance, and see what takes us, I think this is gonna be it, this is the right guy, he wants us down, so I'm down, so absolutely.
Absolutely. Tony, I feel him. Tony's the man. He's a really, really cool guy. And he fits into that vibe that we have. Like even the bass player, Richard. I just met him too that day, you know what I mean? And his vibe is the same. So I know God is in control here because, all of these guys have that pure heart and that passion for music. And that's why when we all got in the studio tonight, it just went like we was in the studio like we've been doing it for years together. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing,
Yeah. I can't support myself, that's that's a blessing, to have that chemistry, that atmosphere. That's a great thing, I definitely feel that. That's what it's about,
So thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you.
I'm going to get back to work here, and I will be seeing you. Of course, we're going to be working together.
Yes, we will. Yeah.
And it's going to. Like I said, I can feel it deep down in my soul that everything's going to be all right. We just have to keep ourselves focused. As long as we do that, God will bless. We have to give him something to bless, and if we do that, we will be blessed.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for being on the show, I'm gonna send you an interview and we'll stay in touch, and we're always welcome to the show anytime you want, so thanks. So it's blessed to have you on the show, so we'll stay in touch, we'll make it happen. And like I said, you're always welcome on my show, so anytime you want, so absolutely.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Have a wonderful evening.
You too, and I'll send you a video too right now, okay? And check it out, okay? God bless. See you soon. Thanks again. Take care. Good night.